Okay, so with all the stuff that's going on in the world at the moment, coronavirus, COVID-19, um, however you want to refer to it. I don't know what is the official term. I think it is both, isn't it? One of them's a virus and one of them's a disease.
Yeah, they're saying it's a there's loads of coronaviruses out there, flu being one type, and so this particular type is a COVID-19. That's what they're calling it
Yeah,
because it was discovered in 2019.
yeah, and it stands for the coronavirus disease.
Exactly, yeah. So that's it. Yeah,
Okay, well, I think if whether we call it COVID-19 or coronavirus, I think everyone really knows what we're talking about
yeah.
because
Everyone
it's
knows.
pretty much the only news happening right now. And depending where you are in the world, you're probably being told to work from home and isolate yourself and not going to the office and so on. And so we figured we'd do a quick episode on some tips on working from home because this is going to be fairly new to a lot of people. Myself and you, we work from home quite a lot anyway.
Yeah,
So we've got some experience on this, but there's going to be people who work in retail who now have to sit at home, or my wife works in HR and she's at home. So it's very new to a lot of people.
mm.
So yeah, these are just some tips on how to get yourself set up, how to keep yourself in touch with your work colleagues, and just some stuff that you can do to stop you from losing your mind, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it can be a lonely place when you're working from home as well if you're by yourself.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can.
So do you want to kick off? Just tell us some stuff about how you can get yourself set up to be in a work mode.
Oh yeah, I'm in an interesting environment. When I am working from home, I'm in the loft, and I've got everything set up here. I've got a desk. I've got the skylight, so I've got natural lighting in the room, which works really well. And I've got a desk lamp and everything. And I think the seating sort of scenario I've got is a really nice sort of ergonomic chair, which makes the whole sort of working from home experience more comfortable for me. And so for me, comfort is like a key thing, and so the chair 100% handles a lot of that for me. And the desk, the solution I've got, it's a bespoke kind of desk that I've got. It was just built with the rest of the furniture in the loft, and I kind of wanted it to be a particular sort of size to handle the things that I'm using. So my monitor, my MacBook, keyboard, a drawing tablet, things like that, so they fit perfectly on it. Plenty of space, plenty of room. So the comfort side of it is, it's up there. It's really good. Like anyone could sit here and they'll be comfortable in this at this desk that I've got set up.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, a lot of people won't necessarily have the luxury of a desk at home. A lot of people may be working on their dining table, maybe sitting at their lounge.
Yeah, my second part to this is now that my wife's working from home. She was sat on the bed. I was sitting with a laptop, and that's not really comfortable. So she took my desk, and then I thought, where can I set up in the house, to work on my laptop? And the breakfast bar in the kitchen works really nicely. Loads of natural light in the kitchen, and the breakfast bar is clean, it's clear. So, and I've got seating there as well, on those high chairs that we have, those sort of like bar stools. So I've been using that for the last couple of days, and that's working really well for me. So those two sort of spaces in the house work really well.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
important, whichever sort of surface you use, whether it is a dining table, a kitchen top, worktop, or whatever. You want to find something. You want to find something that is the correct height. You don't want to make. You want to make sure that your table's not too high, not too low. Your arms are at rough right angles. Just sort of think about how you sit on your desk at work, if you are in a desk job, and try and replicate as much of that as you can when you're back at home. And like you mentioned about the natural light, it's very important to have a well lit room.
yeah,
And if you can sit in a separate room to the rest of the family, that's always a bonus as well to make it
yeah.
feel
That's
like
so
you are
important.
in an
Mm.
office. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing you want to try and do is try and get away from where the TV is. Try and separate that. So for some people may have to set up in the lounge, but that's where discipline will come in to play. You need to try
Yeah,
and avoid turning it on. Obviously, keep an eye on the news if you need to, but try and stay away from the
yeah.
binge
You could have
watching.
it on and just put it on mute and just let it run in the background, and
Yeah, definitely. And then because this is going to be new for a lot of people, most people will have some sort of commute in the morning. Working from home is quite tempting to just obviously stay in your pajamas and just roll out of bed and start working.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to try and do some sort of fake commute in the
And you know what
morning.
it is? It's so easy to fall into that because I've been doing working from home for quite a while, even though I've got the office space. I do it sometimes. So on a Monday, I'll generally tend to work from home. And I have fallen into that trap of just putting on my joggers and my hoodie and just being really, really comfortable with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I do it all the time as well.
yeah, but it does help if you just put on your jeans and a t-shirt and, kind of like be prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll help you a little bit.
Yeah, sort your hair out. Dress
Yeah.
up into something reasonably office, friendly. That sort of thing that you would wear to work. And then if you do need to do a video call, then you don't need to be sort of scrambling around trying to fix your hair all of a sudden, or thinking, oh, am I dressed appropriately? I don't look like a slob. So
Yeah.
just get up, stick to your normal routine, wake up around the same sort of time, have your breakfast, get ready as you normally would if you were going to work. And instead of your commute, you could take a short walk around your area. You could walk in the garden, or you could just do some light exercise at home. Even just walk around your house a little bit. But try and stick to the same routine that you would have if you were going into work as normal.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also once you actually start working, try to stick to your actual work routine as well. So take breaks at the right time. Have your lunch break around lunchtime,
Yeah.
and try and start at 9 o'clock and finish at 5:30 if those are your times. Whatever your times may be. It's very easy when you are working from home to work too much. And depending on the sort of distractions you might have around you, it's very easy not to work too little as well. So you need to find some discipline to make sure that you're working the correct amount, as expected by your colleagues and stuff.
Yeah. I've got the dog at home, so every now and then, I've got to get up and just check on him. Make sure he's fed. So he has three feeds: one in the morning, one at lunchtime, one in the evening at around 6.
Hmm.
So I try and use those sort of periods throughout my day to just break away from work. So spend a bit of time with him, have a 5-10 minute play, interact with him, and then maybe make myself a cup of coffee or a glass of water or something, and come back and focus and sprint through some tasks.
Yeah.
And then just, get up off the chair. I think this is really important as well, because this will tie into one of our previous episodes about health and fitness as well.
Hmm.
Get up off the chair. Very important to get up, to help, the blood flow as well. And just walk around. If you're upstairs, walk down the stairs, walk back up. Little things like that will help, because you can easily start falling asleep at your desk and start getting bored and, but getting up and just, moving around a little bit will help.
Yeah, because a lot of people would normally go for a walk at lunchtime. Some people may even go to the gym at lunchtime. But now in many places in the UK, at least, gyms are also closed as well. Restaurants, bars, they're all closed. So even going for lunch, there's not really anywhere to go. You're going to be having it at home. So you probably want to just have a little walk around and definitely take a break for your lunch, and don't eat at your desk, and make it as a normal routine as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
One thing I see in the UK as well is that the schools are closed. I don't know if this is the case everywhere, but I've got two kids, and come Monday they're going to be at home as well.
Yeah.
So it's important to obviously keep them occupied as well.
Mm,
So the kids have got work given to them by the school,
yeah.
but they also need someone to be watching over them to make sure that they're doing that work. But then you've also got your own work to do as well, your own job to look into. So that's going to be a challenge for everybody, I think. And it's important to plan ahead, I suppose. Think of a timetable, possibly the night before, of what your children are going to be doing during the day. Make it clear to them. Get a timetable, draw it up, stick it up on the wall or something like that, and make sure that there's enough, activity books, or whatever they need, any toys depending on their age, and make sure that things are in the right place, ready to reach for, and you can keep them occupied.
Yeah, as it would be in a classroom.
Exactly.
Everything's organized, and they know that where things are. So that would help definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's
organization.
not just about us; it's about schools as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so some of those are some of the basic things to just get yourself in the mode of working from home if you're not used to doing it already. So obviously, while you're off as well, you're going to need to communicate with your team. So most teams will probably have this covered anyway, and they'll have their own methods. But what are some of the apps and services and stuff that you use to keep in touch with people? And then I've got a few that we're going to be using that we do use anyway in our in IBM. So anything that you've got?
Well, I've been using the usual tool set. So Slack, I use that to communicate with my clients, especially people I'm providing, regular sort of consultancy sort of work for. So we communicate through Slack, anything work related. It did start on WhatsApp. They do tend to, a lot of these clients that we take on do tend to get in touch with me using WhatsApp, but that becomes too social. So I wanted to make it really strict for them. For us, if we're going to have a working relationship, they need to get in touch with me via Slack, away from everywhere else and every other kind of conversation. So Slack, I'm in touch with my clients on that. And then we do have like video calls using Zoom. I've got like 2 or 3 Zoom sort of conference calls set up throughout the week, and that works really well. And so they're the main 2, and then also got Trello, which I'm using to manage digital marketing campaigns. So we've got like an active sort of like a calendar running on that on a weekly basis, and then the client knows all the tasks that are going to be accomplished by certain dates and times, what's going to be posted up when it goes out. So they work really well together. So they're the main sort of they're the main tools I'm using at the moment.
Yeah, what we're using at work is a mixture of we're using Slack as our main communication tool, and then for video calls we either use WebEx or we use Slack, and then all of our sort of documentation and stuff like that is all done on the Atlassian suite. So you've got Confluence and Jira and so forth.
Yeah.
And then it's not just a case of like work communication. Sometimes you just need to keep in touch with non-work colleagues as well, because obviously this is affecting everyone. So make use of things like WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, all your different social media. Now's the time to maybe open up your DMs so people can contact you if you want. If you've got your like Twitter DMs are private, now's a good time to open them up. People can and let people know how you are as well. Don't get too isolated. If no one's asking, maybe just update your status every now and then. Just let people know what you're doing and let people know that you're well.
Yeah, I think the other thing is with this scenario, with this whole coronavirus thing that's taking the country and the world by a grip. I think mental health's a big issue as well. Like even people who are perfectly fine, who've never shown any signs of mental illness, it's so easy to just fall into a hole, with all this negative news that we're just being bombarded with every single day. And every hour of the day is just constant. There's no getting away from it because there's no sport, there's no release. We can't, there's no football to watch. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing we can actually do to get away from it. We're just completely sucked into it. So if we're communicating with our friends using these apps and tools that are out there, help us to talk to each other, to kind of lighten the mood and just get away from things. So I just discovered an app. My wife's friend was the one who alluded me to it. It's called House Party. And it's a video conferencing app, and it's got games built into it as well. So you can have, I don't know how many people you can have in there. I think you can have probably up to maybe 8. I'm not too sure about that number.
Yeah.
But I tested it out with my mate earlier today. So he called me up on there. We were just like doing a drawing game. Like you got to draw something on the phone, on the screen, and then they can see it in real time and they got to guess what it is. And you get 30 seconds to guess. So it just helps to lighten the mood. So there's loads of different games on there. I just found like loads of other games. Some of them you got to pay for. It's only a couple of quid, but there's just so much to do on this app. It's called House Party for those who want to try it out. But we've just set up a group now. I've got 20 people on my list now, friends and family. So we're gonna kick this off later on today in the evening. I'll start with my mates, and we've decided we're all gonna have a beer each, and we're just gonna talk to each other using that app just to lighten the mood and get away from everything that's going on. So they're very important, man. The mental health side, definitely.
Yeah,
these will help to get away from it.
Sounds good. Another thing that we're doing at work is we've got a permanently open Discord voice channel. So
Oh, okay.
on Discord, which is like an alternative to Slack, it's you can have voice channels on there, and you can just have them permanently connected, so anyone can just sort of drop in and out whenever they want,
Right.
and just talk to whoever's on there at that time.
So how would
So
that work? Would that be like, would you have to press like a record sort of thing to record your voice note, or is it just open? You
no,
just
it's
speak
just
into your phone?
it's basically like a internet call
Mm.
through Discord, and you just connect to it, and once you connect, you're just part of the voice chat, and then you just disconnect whenever you want. So sometimes there might be no one in there, but sometimes there might be
Right.
like 5 or 6 people, and it's just a chance to people just have a voice chat, a casual one, just drop in as if you were overhearing a conversation at work. It's supposed to have that sort of feel. I mean, I haven't really
Okay.
used it much yet, but it's an option. Another thing that we're thinking of doing is a shared Spotify playlist, so everyone can just sort of listen to the similar sort of music, and we can that can be a conversation point as well. Then what we
Yeah,
listen
that'd be
to and
cool.
what sort of songs we like, and you get an idea of what other people, what your colleagues are into, what sort of music they're into. Because especially in our line of work, when we're in the office, everyone has headphones on, so everyone's listening to music, but none of us know what the other person's listening
Yeah,
to.
you do wonder what is he
Because
listening to?
because you don't want to disturb the person next to you. But now that we're all at home, it's okay to just play music out loud. So this is a good opportunity to get to know what other people's music taste is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so those are some of the things that you could do just to keep in touch, and just text people, phone people. Now's a good time to just rekindle some like old friendships and stuff like that. Just get in touch with people that you haven't spoken to in a while, and just see that they're okay. And
Yeah,
you've got plenty of time on your hands, so make the most of it.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's about it, really. I mean, it's not very difficult working from home. It's going to take some adjustment. So yeah, these are just some basic tips that you can do, and hopefully everything will work out, and we'll be back to normal pretty soon.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah. Any final words?
Oh, just I think there's the three main rules that are just constantly going through my head. With the whole, just the cleanliness side of things as well. Just remember to just wash your hands. Don't touch your face, and catch those sneezes and coughs, man. We've got to keep ourselves safe from what's going on out there. So definitely just remember those 3 rules as well when you're working from home. When you're around everyone.
That's it, man. Wash your hands, stay at home, stay away from people, and just
Yeah,
look after
just
yourself.
avoid going out, man.
Yeah.
Just avoid it.
And yeah, we'll all get through it. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
All right. Anyway, look after yourself and each other, and we'll speak to you soon, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe in your podcast player, and feel free to drop us a rating or review in Apple Podcasts. You can follow the show on Twitter @InspectFM, and you can find the show notes for today's episode and a full archive of all shows over at inspect.fm.